So if we think through redefining identity and leadership, what does success mean to you now compared to when you were an athlete?
Obviously, when you're an athlete, success is the win. It's how you do on the field. It's your stats. It's like it's numbers.
Yeah.
And I guess as a business owner and entrepreneur, like it's still numbers.
Yeah. If it doesn't make money, it don't make sense.
Exactly. But I feel like my mindset has changed a little bit to where it's also success is also, am I doing something that is, first off, is it making me happy?
I love that.
And am I helping other people with it? Am I passionate about it? Because, a lot of the stuff that I do is with the idea of who can I help with this, whether it's therapy or, writing a book about my journey through, getting out of sports and what that looked like for me and, what it took to get out of that, hole, going and speaking to athletes and sports teams and stuff like that about what it's going to look like for them and how they can, stay out of that hole and not get out of that hole or not get in that hole. I mean,
Yeah.
and then, and just helping them realize that I know right now you have this like rainbows and butterflies about sports, but, and you don't really want to think about afterwards because we didn't.
The plan B.
Yeah, we don't want to think about when it ends. We're oblivious. We know it's there somewhere, but we just like it's not happening today, so we're just going to like forget about it.
Yeah.
But, preparing them and not to scare them, obviously, but just say, hey, look, this is a real thing. This is something you have to prepare for, and it doesn't have to be a big scary thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Because that's a lot of what is going to be happening for some of these athletes.
Yeah.
And it pains me to know that because, you're like, man, but there's success outside of being an athlete.
Yeah.
You can use those skills and other things and be really successful. But I like that you pointed out, one, you have to be passionate. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, we've both done things we're not passionate about just to do it. Right. I cannot even imagine going to a job where I am not passionate about it. At this point in my life, I'm not going to do it. I can't imagine, like, I will not put myself around people that I just don't. If I can't be myself, I'm not going to be there. I don't want to be around them. That's where you keep you mentioned, I got to go back to this. You mentioned that, you found your team outside of an athlete. Right. And it was your husband and your family. And you're like, well, it's just us two. But that's huge. Right. Like you said, listen, we're still on the hunt over here. Okay. So, but what I would say is that, like, your team becomes the family that you build. Your husband, your wife, your spouse, your partner, whoever, whatever it is, right?
Or even just
your children.
Or
your friends.
family.
Yeah.
Family of friends. Like,
yep.
And this is sometimes an unpopular opinion. Sometimes your team is not your family. Like
100%.
There's like, and I tell I tell clients all the time when they're like, my family isn't very supportive, and they'll start talking about their group of friends, and I'm like, that's your family.
That's your family. Yeah. Like if somebody does not support me, they have no space in my circle. Like, you're gonna, as you grow older, you start to realize who is it really for you. Like there's signs, and that's a whole nother podcast. We should probably have that whole discussion. But and the first sign of somebody not being for me, it's not going to work out. And I'm going to sidestep you to the left, and you can enjoy your journey, just not around me. And because we've both kept people in our lives that were not for us, and it's devastating for your journey, for your vision, for your businesses, for whatever it is, that's huge.